Hey guys, welcome back. Now, this is where we left off. In the last episode, we learned how to dynamically generate blog posts, and right now we're gonna learn how to style our blog post, and we're gonna do it using style components. We also need to loop through our blog post and create an index using these cards. So let's get started. Let's first create a component for our blog post. Let's go into our source file and let's go into components and let's create a new file. We're gonna call this post.js. This is gonna be capital P, and let's do a standard import React from React. Let's also import style components from styled components, and let's import wave from components.wave. Now, if you're following along and you're wondering what the wave is, it's actually this really nice looking HTML that's animated and it has this really nice effect. We're gonna import this into our blog post. So let's create a post. It's gonna have properties. So let's export it by doing parentheses. Let's create a div and let's export this as a default post. Now we need to create our components. Now we need to create our style components. Let's start by doing hero. Inside of hero, let's create a wave bottom component, and inside of wave bottom component I'm gonna import our wave. Let's also create a hero group. Inside of hero group I'm gonna add my title, and I'm gonna pass props here. Props equals title. I'm gonna pass in my subtitle component, and I'm gonna say props equals subtitle. Inside of my hero component, I'm actually gonna pass an image tag, which is gonna be equal to props image. This is going to be our background image. So we need to create props for our style components now. Let's start with hero. Let's do const hero equals styled. This is going to be a div backticks. You know what? Let's create all of them first. And this is also going to be a div. Let's do one for our title. And this is going to be h1. Let's do backticks. Subtitle. Style. This is going to be a p. A paragraph tag. And what am I missing? I'm missing my wave. Wave bottom. I'm gonna say style equals a div. Now let's add our style. For the hero, I'm gonna do background I'm gonna say URL parentheses. Inside of the parentheses, I'm gonna pass my property, which is gonna be my image. So I'm gonna do $, curly braces. Inside of my curly braces, I'm gonna say props equals props image, and that should be it. I'm gonna close my style. Okay, I'm missing something. It's actually gonna be curly braces here, since we're inserting a tag, a property tag. And I'm gonna do height 820 pixels. I'm gonna do background size, cover, background, position, it's going to be center, position, it's going to be relative. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, I think it looks fine. Let's go into our hero groups, and let's say margin, it's gonna be 0 auto. Our max width is gonna be 720 pixels. Our padding is gonna be 300 pixels by 50 pixels. And our text align is gonna be center. Our H1, let's go into our H1. Our H1 is gonna have a margin of 0, color white, font size of 60 pixels, line height is gonna be 1.2, opacity is gonna be 0, and I'm gonna import this animation that we've actually defined in our index layout. Here, as you can see, if you go to layout index.css, you're gonna find our animation. I'm just using the same animation, and I'm just declaring it right here. I'm also gonna add an opacity of 0. This is for the animation, so it starts out with an opacity of 0 and then it transitions to a full opacity. Now I'm just gonna copy this, and this is gonna be the same for the title, subtitle, opacity of 0, but I also need to add a color here. So I'm gonna say color, I'm gonna say RGBA parentheses, and I'm gonna say 225, 255, my bad, 255, 255, and I'm gonna say 0.8. This is color white with an opacity of 8. I'm gonna format this, and our font size is gonna be 30 pixels. Line height is gonna be 1.5, and I think that's it. Okay, let's move on to our wave bottom. Our wave bottom is gonna have a position of absolute, a width of 100%, a bottom of -6 pixels, and it looks really nice. Okay, I see no errors. Okay, let's import this component inside of our templates, inside of our post template. So I'm just gonna delete this, and I'm gonna say post. I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna import my component. And I'm just gonna close this. I'm gonna say / and close it. Inside, I'm gonna say title. I'm gonna say title. I'm also gonna add my subtitle, which is gonna be the date. And I'm gonna add my image, which is gonna be image dot child image dot sharp dot sizes crc. So we're actually getting our image, we're getting the source image from child image sharp sizes, which is provided by the Gatsby plugins that we installed in the first lesson. And let's see if I'm missing something. I have my title, date. I think it looks pretty nice. Let's see how it looks. And as you can see, it looks pretty nice. We have our style components. This is our title. This is our date. What I added here is a way for us to format our date. So originally this was the date. It was what I wanted to have the month written out. So I added May 10th, 2019. Now we're actually missing our HTML. So let's add this at the bottom. Let's say I'm gonna add a style here, which is gonna be, this is gonna be a style, and I'm gonna add this as a div. I'm gonna say class name equals content wrapper. Inside, I'm gonna open a second div, which is gonna be dangerously set inner HTML, and that's gonna be equal to parentheses, curly brackets, underscore underscore, their name. Oh no, it's HTML here, my bad. And I'm gonna say is equal to post.html. See if we get any errors. Okay, I think this is curly braces. I need to close my tag, and should be good to go. Okay, we're getting our content, but it has no style. As you can see, it's not responsive, it's not center. So I'm gonna do that right now, going into layouts, index.css, and at the bottom I'm just gonna say content wrapper, and I'm just gonna give this a margin of 0, auto, max width of 720 pixels. This is so I can center my content at the bottom. I'm gonna give this a line height of 140% and a padding of 0 pixels, 40 pixels at the sides, and a margin of bottom, which is going to be 200 pixels, just to separate the content from the blog post. I'm going to press save, I'm going to press refresh, and we have our content. Okay, this is awesome. So we've managed to style our blog post. Now we just need to go into our homepage and display our blog post instead of these cards. So let's do that right now by going into our pages, index.js, and I'm gonna delete these cards, we're gonna pass dynamic data using properties instead of this hard-coded data for each card. And for that to happen, I'm gonna change this into props. I'm gonna say curly braces, and I'm just gonna add one of the curly braces at the bottom here. I'm gonna return this, and back at the top, I'm gonna declare I need to actually import my data, but before that, I'm gonna say const post list. This is gonna be props data all markdown remark. Now you're wondering where I'm gonna get this data. Well, I'm actually gonna query this data from GraphQL, and we're gonna go all the way at the bottom. We're gonna say export const list query equals GraphQL backticks. I'm gonna open the backticks, and I'm gonna say query. I'm gonna say query. I'm gonna name my query. I'm gonna say list query, and I'm gonna do brackets all mark remark. I need to sort through my blog post by the date, so I'm gonna say sort curly braces. I'm gonna say order descending. In the field that we're gonna pass is gonna be our front matter, so I'm gonna say front matter, and I'm gonna pass the date. Okay, that looks pretty well. I'm gonna open another set of curly braces, and I'm gonna say edges, curly braces note, curly braces HTML. I'm gonna pass in also the ID, and I'm gonna pass in my front matter. Inside of my front matter, I'm gonna pass in the date. I'm gonna format my date. It's gonna be the following. It's gonna be the path, title, image. Inside of image, I'm gonna open another set of curly braces, and I'm gonna say child, image, sharp, curly braces, sizes. I'm gonna say max width of 1220 pixels, and I'm just gonna say source right here, and we have our query. We're passing our data to our properties. Now we just need to use our properties inside of the card. So I'm gonna do that right now by changing this into our note. I'm going to say front matter, title. Just going to copy this, and I'm going to say date. And in this case, I'm going to say note front matter, image. I'm going to say child, image, sharp, sizes, source. Okay, but I still need to loop through my posts and I also need to link to my post so they can link to their own URL. And for this, I'm gonna create a link tag, and I'm gonna say link to curly braces. I'm gonna say node front matter path. This is gonna be a unique value, so we're gonna say key equals parentheses, and I'm gonna close my index tag, and I'm gonna wrap my card tag with my link. Now we need to loop through our cards one by one using their unique value. So I'm gonna say curly braces, I'm gonna say post list edges map parentheses, another parentheses, curly braces, node. Instead of node, I'm gonna pass in I, and now I'm gonna say parentheses. Instead of parentheses, I'm gonna open them. The loop, I'm gonna wrap my card inside the loop. I'm gonna press save, and we're actually getting an error. Okay, so I was actually getting an error. I was missing an extra underscore, so let's add that. Should be 3 underscores here in our post query, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got our perfect. We got our index for our blog post running. So as you can see, if we click on this, it's gonna take us to our blog post. So this is really awesome. We have our blog, we have our post that's dynamically generated all through Markdown files. This is incredible. Well done. I can't wait to see how you add this to your portfolio, to your personal site. Until next time.
If you'd like to watch more videos like this around design tools and coding for designers and beginners, please subscribe to this channel.